another video, and today we're gonna be reacting to Moist Critical. I finally saw something good. Let's get straight into it. I'm
See a
actually happy
lot of
about this title.
atrocious movies in the movie theater. I do it on purpose. I excitedly go there, enthusiastically pumping my fist at the newest pile of garbage that I'll be watching.
Yeah, he always tells us why he loves bad movies.
And I know they're going to be horrible going into them, but I still do it because I find a sick pleasure in it. I'm pretty sure I'm the exact demographic they're marketing these revolting, stinky piles of dog shit to. And I don't mind eating it with a smile on my face most of the time because I enjoy
I like bad movies. I just don't like horror. Boring movies, if that makes sense.
making fun of them. But sometimes I see good movies too. And that's the case with today. I saw A Quiet Place Day 1. I liked the previous two Quiet Place movies, so I had high expectations for this one, and I'm happy to say they were met. I expected it to be good. It was good. Case closed. Let's go into why it was good.
Then what was the whole point of you talking about the whole thing with you walking in expecting it stuff to be bad?
It does what I think the other two movies did very well, which is really sell you on intense situations. So you already know the shtick of this series by now, where there's these monsters that are on the planet now. The world has fundamentally ended for the most part. There's still pockets of humanity.
I actually didn't know any of this, to be honest. I haven't saw. I might watch it though. He said
left, and they can't make a peep. They can't so much as fart without a monster.
Let me actually listen to what's going on.
Case closed.
If I might watch it, I might want to know.
Let's go into why it was good. It does what I think the other two movies did very well, which is really sell you on intense situations. So you already know the shtick of this series by now, where there's these monsters that are on the planet now. The world has fundamentally ended for the most part. There's still pockets of humanity left, and they can't make a peep. They can't so much as fart without a monster jumping on them, mauling them, tearing them to pieces. So It's always high stakes whenever a sound is made, and they have to do their best to not squeak out any decibels. And I think that leads to some really
depending on how they play it, I feel like that could be good. It sounds like it could be bad if they played it wrong.
Creative scenes, and Quiet Place Day 1 has many such situations. So this is, as the name would imply, the very first day that the monsters hit the planet. They come in on these fucking asteroids, they blow up, and then all of these monsters start swarming all over the city. They got these long arms looking like fucking Slender Man. They just start slapping people who start screaming. And we follow a character who's smack dab in the middle of it with her trusty sidekick, an adorable cat. The main character has cancer, and she's been in hospice nearing the end of her life.
Wait, what? What? How? Wait. Just hear me out. Hear me. I'm not being no type of way. I'm just saying, like, you know, the fundamentals of like a show like this. Like, don't you have to be like, you know, super powerful and stuff? And you know that that sickness, you know, it takes away a lot of power. Does she get around that somehow? Hopefully she gets over it. I tried to say that the best way possible.
All of this starts happening. So she is with her cat tackling these very tense situations,
right?
And meets someone else who really tags along with her, and they grow a great connection and have great chemistry together. His name is Eric. Now, I'm trying to avoid spoilers here for the most part, but since the main character has...
Thank you, and I thank you for that, because I want to know. I don't want to. I hate knowing everything about a show because then I start like expecting stuff as I'm watching it. It's like I think about that certain moment as I'm watching. I'm just waiting for it to happen. Like I'm
been dealing with cancer and is already nearing the end of her life. She wants to spend her final moments trying to basically recapture the magic of what she remembered from her childhood. So she wants a piece of pizza from a very special place in her heart. And her and Eric and her cat then engage in this mission, this quest to go get that piece of pizza. And that's all I'll say about the story without getting into spoilers. It's a really beautifully told narrative, honestly. I was very surprised.
That sounds so confused. I just wonder how they're gonna play that out. Like, how does that conversation go? Like, how does that? I want to know
just how much I ended up caring about all of the characters. And I think something that really helped is the cat. Now, you could argue that it's kind of cheap to use animals to elicit an emotional response from the audience because everybody loves seeing a cat or a dog on screen and they're always
Right.
constantly on the edge of their fucking seat, wondering, praying, hoping that nothing bad happens to the animal. But in this movie, it didn't feel like it was used as some kind of cheap gimmick. It actually felt like it contributed a lot to the overall plot and just kind of like the theme of the movie. But I do have a bit of a complaint about that because the cat is unrealistic. It's not that cat's not real. It's got to be like an animatronic or something. I have a cat.
Wait, what does he mean? Wait, don't tell me what he means. Actually, wait, no. No, I don't want to know this. I want to watch it and figure it out myself. Wait, what is he talking
And
about?
she would not act like this cat. So in a world where you can't make a noise, Aya would be fucking screaming and shouting all the time just out of spite. So in the film, she's traveling with her cat, and then sometimes like a sound will get made, and then all of a sudden the monster immediately shows up. Like they just fucking instant transmission like Goku to get there. So then the monster's there, and they have to just shut down all sound, and that leads to her really tightly gripping that cat. And the cat doesn't make a noise, nothing.
Okay.
That's not how cats act, in my experience.
It really isn't. It really isn't. I just said okay in like the way of okay, this cat might like be extra smart. Can a cat talk or something? Is this a special cat or something? There's no way you squeeze a cat. A cat sees a monster. It doesn't hiss or nothing. Like it doesn't do nothing. It don't scratch. It don't hiss. It don't even meow. That's a little crazy. That's a
If
little
I did that
crazy.
to Io, the monster wouldn't even have a chance to kill me. Io would rip my fucking heart out. She would be hissing and shouting and just clawing me to pieces.
Right.
I would just be like insta-gibbed like it's Team Fortress 2, and the monster would probably be afraid of my cat. Like I don't think the
See, if I could see if it was a dog a little bit, because it'd probably like put its ears down. But even then, it'd be whining. What animal wouldn't make noise? I don't know. But I don't. I honestly don't. I don't think.
cat was acting like a real cat would, being like gripped like that, even taken underwater at certain times and still not making a sound when
Wow.
brought back out of water. So this cat's got some kind of superpowers, or maybe it's
Right, I'm
extremely
like,
smart and
can the cat? The cat has to be able to talk. Those type of cats have to be able to talk or something. Like, what are you? What are you?
immediately
Can it
understands
talk?
that the monsters hunt by sound, so it knows not to make sound. And in that case, it's an extremely fucking smart cat. But anyway, that was one of those things where I was like, oh, there's no way. There's no way. And also, the cat is kind of omniscient. So there's a couple times where the cat runs away, like really runs away. And then within a couple of minutes, finds its way back to not only the main character, but Eric. The cat just knows where everyone is at all times. It has like an unlimited.
This cat sounds OP. Bro, what is this? Bro, is it like a former one on their side, but like it like came back and it got slayed or something and it was like reincarnated as a cat. That's the only explanation I'm accepting because what the heck is going on, bro?
UAV kill streak from Call of Duty and can just immediately find the people that it needs to find with no problem. But you know, it's a fucking movie. I get it. It's not supposed to be like extremely realistic, but it's just one
But
of
I
those
feel
things
like it is
that
though,
really stood
because
out.
even when like you want them to believe, because even when you're acting, the point of acting is to make people believe it, right? So they can feel it. That's why there's such thing as bad acting because you don't feel what they're talking about. That's the point.
To me. Aside from some of that with the cat, though, I really think the whole movie is just very well done. I really enjoyed it. It's not like a horror movie or anything, so I don't know if anyone has that perception.
That might change it for me. Cause it's not like it can't be an action because the main character doesn't seem that strong. I don't know who the other person was. He said there was this another person and there was a cat. So I don't think there's gonna be that many fight scenes. It sounded like my kind of show in the beginning, but now it doesn't. And he said it's not horror either, so I'm not gonna get scared. I don't know. I'll look at the trailer. I'll look at the
Going
trailer.
into it because some of the marketing material makes it seem like it's supposed to be. It's really not. It's much more of just like a thriller movie where, there's high stakes. It's intense, but it's not scary per se. Unless you really find the monster design off-putting, which it's supposed to be, so that's totally fine. But I would never classify this as like a horror film, to be honest. Not that it needs to be. I think it excels at what it aims to do. I really thought it did a great job of telling an extremely emotional story and telling it really, really well. There was a lot of great action sequences that took place. There is a couple of times where I had to question how the fuck the monsters could hear one thing but not the other. Like there's a couple.
Oh my god. Oh my god. He's making it sound like there's so many flaws, bro. Like the little flaws that he are stating are big flaws for me. I'm just saying, like they're things that I love in a movie, like the horror thing. Because even when he said that, and he just said there was action in it. I want him to go a little bit more on that, like what type of action. Like I need
Scenes
to
where
see,
someone's
need to
breathing
hear
right
about
in
the
the
action.
face of the monster, and like other times they can hear the sound of like a Coke can being gently pushed by a light breeze from across the entire fucking city, but not the breathing in their face. So it's just, it's not a big deal. It's not the biggest deal in the world. But I just wanted to point that out because sometimes it felt like they couldn't hear things when it was just convenient to not
But see, then that's another example of. I'm not gonna explain
hear
it, man.
them. And no, I guess in a couple of those scenes they were distracted to put an argument against myself here. Overall, though, I really liked the movie. I thought it was very good. I've got no real complaints about it, like nothing serious about it. That
It might actually be a good movie, but it just doesn't sound like it's my type of movie, and I may not know that because he still hasn't gone in on the action or anything like. Yeah, I'm not really fond on too many emotional scenes. It's not my
that I
that's not
could complain
not
about
my
and say I
forte.
didn't like. So yeah, plugging this into the moist meter, I think I'll give it like a comfortable 85-ish%. I think it's a great
That's
watch.
actually that's pretty high actually.
I
That's
think if
high.
you
Oh, of course you're getting mad.
like the previous two Quiet Place movies, you'll probably like this one. I don't think it like does anything crazy that the genre hasn't explored before, but everything it does well, and you get kind of what you're expecting from the Quiet Place universe, which I'm always pretty pleased with. So, yeah, that's about it. So, yeah.
That was a wait,
Nope,
what?
quick fake out. I actually just remembered one other thing I want to mention. When coming into this movie, I thought it was going to explain like how the whole world fell to the monsters because one of my big complaints about the first Quiet Place, and it's not, I'm using the word complaint really loosey goosey here, but one of my
Mm.
nitpicks on the first movie was how you actually fight against the monsters, and what they discover is something I feel like humanity would have immediately discovered the second that these creatures showed up and they realized they could hunt by sound.
See, that's gonna piss me off. See, see he says it's a little problem for. See, I said it, saying it again. That's a big problem. That is cause if I do watch it, I'm gonna be watching it for the action. Cause there's nothing else that really appeals to me.
I thought this movie would explain how they were ineffective at beating the monsters, but it doesn't really explore that. However, the film does immediately showcase that people were quick to pick up that the monsters hunt by sound. So the second they arrive, they start killing everyone. The main character gets knocked out from an explosion. When she comes to, within like the next scene or two, there's helicopters that fly overhead with megaphones telling people, don't make a sound. Don't make noise. Like, be as quiet as you can possibly.
Okay, that sounds live. That low key sounds live. That sounds live. That see, he's putting me on an on and off here. Like, bro, that scene that he just described sounds
Be,
live. I want to see
silence is
that.
fucking golden type thing. So the military, at least, immediately recognized that it's sound. Like that's how they hunt. It's purely based on sound. So the weapon from the first movie, like the technique from the first movie, I feel like the military would have immediately started to theorize on. Yet I guess they never did for some reason. I'm trying not to spoil what that weapon is in case you haven't seen the Quiet Place movies, but it's pretty much exactly what you would expect it to be if it was a creature that hunts by really intense hearing. How are you going to fight back against that? I think the answer to a lot of people will probably be obvious and ring a bell right away.
I mean, I feel like plot armor is a good one because he said they were breathing in her face, so it's pretty good plot armor.
So this movie doesn't really explore how the world falls. It's more so a very personal story between three characters, including the cat, and their journey together
See,
through
that's
this.
what I have a problem with. That's not my forte. I don't want to watch that. That's the problem. Oh, they have to make that a little bit more interesting. Cause I could do emotional scenes. Don't like when I'm in tune with characters. Like you gotta get me with the characters first, and then like you could do some emotional scenes. But if the whole movie is just like sad and they just I don't know, it doesn't sound. Doesn't sound. Because if it's focused on those three, then none of those three people sound like happy people. And it's not even the third one's not even a person, it's a cat that's immune to things.
Perilous situation, and I think that's great. I think they do a wonderful job with it. I did want to mention that though. So that's really about it. So yeah.
Alright, y'all. I'll see y'all next video. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Peace out.